Hey everyone, welcome back to the NumPy series. In the last couple of videos, we have talked about ND array. We have also seen how we can create these arrays using the inbuilt functions, and we have also talked about the data types in NumPy arrays. Today, we are going to take it one step further and we are going to talk about the attributes to inspect our arrays. So once we have created the arrays, we would want to inspect it. That maybe how many items are there, what is the dimension, what is the shape of our array. So we have attributes available to inspect our arrays. We'll talk about those attributes today. Let's walk through each attribute one by one. So let's first create an array. I've imported NumPy here. And now I want to create an array. I'll use array function. Maybe I have marks of the student, 3 students here. Let's save it down in a variable. Now, if I want to see the number of dimension in this array, I can simply use this attribute ndim. So this array is nothing but an object of ndarray class. And a class, as you all know, has certain attributes and methods. So ndim is an attribute in ndarray class. What it returns in the output, the number of dimensions or accesses in our array. One here means we have one dimensional array, a single row you can think of it as. 2D would mean like a table. 3D is like a stack of tables. Now let's convert this to 2 dimension. So maybe what we'll do is I'll add another student's marks. So this is student A and another student here, 3, 5, 6. So now if we check the dimension, it is 2 dimension. Also, I showed you a nifty trick to know how many dimensions your array has. You can just count the opening brackets. So here, 2 opening brackets. So it's a 2 dimensional array. Now let's say we want to know the shape of the array. So for that, I have an attribute called as shape. Please note that you don't have to put a parenthesis after shape. It's an attribute, not a method. So 2 comma 3. It's returning 2 values first thing. It's returning a tuple with 2 values. 2 values means 2 dimensions. I have 2 dimension in my array, which is right. The first value, 2 here, corresponds to the size of first dimension. How many elements or items I have in the first dimension. So let's say my first dimension is student. So this is student number 1. This is student number 2. So I have 2 items in the first dimension. 2 students information I have. The second dimension is the marks of the student in 3 subjects. So I have 3 marks, 1, 2, 3, math, science, English for student A. And here again, I have these marks for student B in math, science, English. So 2 once again here corresponds to the number of items in first dimension. 3 is the number of items in second dimension, or the size of the second dimension. If you want to see the total number of elements in this array, you have array.size. It simply gives you the size, the total number of values stored. So this is basically your 2 multiplied by 3 here, number of items in the first dimension and the size of second dimension. So that is 6. And as you can see here, we have 6 items. Then if you want to check the data types of the elements, you have dtype, attribute called as dtype, data type. So this we have seen in the previous video. It shows the data types used in the array. Now let's say you want to also see the memory per element. So for that also we have an attribute called as item size. Item size 4. So this basically helps you understand how many bytes does each element take. So when you're working with memory efficient code, this is very helpful. So each element here in my array takes 4 bytes. And if you want to see the total memory used by a given array, you have another attribute called as nbytes. This will give you the total memory used. So here the item size is 4. Each element is using 4 bytes, and we have total of 6 elements. So 6 multiplied by 4 is the output. 24 is what we are getting. This is the memory used by the entire array. So a quick recap. ndim, number of dimensions it will return. Shape will return a tuple with size in each dimension. Size is total number of elements. Dtype returns the data type of elements. Item size is memory per element in bytes, and ntype is the total memory used. So that's how you will inspect the arrays that you have created to understand your arrays better. So that's a wrap on array inspection in NumPy. You are now equipped to explore any array you work with. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you for watching.